Do the sleeping people know that we are chosen, or are they asleep to their peers, themselves, and everyone around them? So when you're dealing with unconscious people or people that are asleep, they can see your light. And to them, you look like a big shining light, kind of like a star. And this is because when it comes to pathological narcissists or people that are deeply asleep or deeply unconscious, if we're going to use the star analogy, and you hear me use this often on this channel, understand that they are also stars. They are black holes. A black hole is a collapsed star. So let's use some numbers to make this make sense. So the sun is a star, right? It's a big ball of shining light. So let's say the sun's luminosity is at 95%. Again, making these numbers up. Understanding that sleeping people, unconscious people, their level of light is, let's say, 10%. So when you come around like a big ball of shining light, then they absolutely can see you. And oftentimes they actually see you before you see yourself, because again, you're just a star. That is how you are.
Everybody was trying to be like, oh, she a one-hit wonder, da da da. But it's like, now what? Two-hit wonder?
And when you are projecting your consciousness, which I advise against, don't project your consciousness again, because most people on this planet are unconscious. They're not bright stars. They're closer to being black holes than star beings, right? They see you again before you see them. They are watching you. So what happens is that because they cannot ascend, all right, and again, you're up here at this 95%, they cannot ascend. So what happens is their energetic pull has to pull you down, because again, they are a black hole. What do black holes do? Black holes absorb light. So understand that all principles are a microcosm of the same macrocosm. So all principles, a smaller principle is a part of the larger principle. If you put two dissimilar objects that are two completely different vibrations next to each other, then the higher one has to go lower. Water meets its own level. So do they know that we are chosen? That may not be the language that they use, but they can see your light, which is why they try to absorb it. Because again, as a black hole, they cannot give you anything but darkness. And this is where discernment comes in on our end. You have no business being in the third dimension. You hear me say this often on this channel. And what does the third dimension on the Hawkins scale represent? It represents darkness. It represents negativity. So as an empathetic being, as a chosen one, then you have access to empathy. You have access to love and kindness, etc., because you are on your way to enlightenment, right? You want your third eye open. You want your crown chakra open, right? You're on your way to self-actualization that you'll find on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? You are ascending, you are expanding. But pathological narcissists are stuck in a contracted state. For example, when you go around narcissists, they put you in a state of dis-ease, a state of discontent. They put you in a contracted state because, however conscious or subconscious, we are aware, especially at the body level, that something is off with that individual, because we are electromagnetic beings. We're always sending and receiving energy, however conscious or unconscious that you are. So they are stuck again, based in shame, can't move past their pride. They're stuck in a contracted state of awareness. And this is why oftentimes most of them are riddled with anxiety, because again, they're stuck in fear or depression because they have a whole lot of anger issues that they are not dealing with in an adequate manner. And again, we're dealing with people that are not self-reflecting. They're not growing because, again, they're stuck. This is a severe form of psycho-spiritual arrested development. Again, they're stuck in darkness. This is why they love chaos so much. That is the vibration that they are in. They are programmed at that vibration to believe that that is acceptable. behavior. So understand that because they're stuck in survival mode, because they are stuck in suffering consciousness, then they will also want you to suffer with them. So they will not like your confidence. They will not like your peace. They will not like your positivity. So are they aware that you are a positive person? They absolutely are aware, and that is why they want to wipe that smile off of your face, because they themselves are not joy-filled people. Again, they cannot get to joy. They cannot get to love. They cannot get to peace. They're stuck between shame and pride. They're in a shame-pride cycle. And they have been at this low level awareness since their childhood years. So they have developed different manipulation tactics to connect to other people, to connect to other sources. Again, sources of light. We are source energy at our core, right? We are spirit operating a human body. Instead of spirit, you could say source, you could say light, you could say light source, you could say the watcher, the observer, etc. So because again, you're dealing with a highly unconscious individual at their level of awareness, it makes them very predatory. Again, they are in survival mode. It is kill or be killed. It is eat or be eaten. Again, they're stuck at this fear-based state. And this is why they lash out at you, because anger feels better than fear. But again, they cannot move past their pride. And pride cometh before the fall, so they're going to fall right back down to shame. However, understand that narcissists do see your light. And this is why we must raise our awareness and understand our value. Because they do not have access to their light. Again, they abandon their spirit. They abandon their light source in their childhood years. They need your light source. And this is why they will drain you of your energy. Again, you're dealing with black holes. Their spirit, their light source shriveled up. And the longer they are alive, again, physically alive on this planet, the more that spirit shrivels off and they get connected to their ego again, the false self. So this is why they must drag you down to their level. They want you to fall in line. You know, how dare you be happy and confident, and I am not. And this is why they must betray you. In the great words of Malidoma Patrice Somé, if you encounter a betrayer, then they will want you to return blessing. They want to take your confidence. Again, they want to take your light, because they know that you are better than them. And I'm not talking about from an ego level here. I'm talking about from a light-filled level, from a spirit level, at a core level. They know that they are very chaotic individuals. They know that they do not have inner peace. So when they see a peaceful person, it's very obvious to them. So it's like if they're in a room that is filled with darkness and you come in with a candle, it is very obvious. And with this said, then they will want you to fall back in line. They will want to out your candle, because they themselves have lost their life within. Again, water has to meet its own level. They cannot ascend, so you must descend into the third dimension. And the third dimension is victim abuser consciousness. There's no other relationship that you can have with a pathological narcissist that is not a victim abuser type energy. It has to be a victim abuser type of relationship. These people do not love themselves. Again, they do not have love to give. Love is a positive emotion. They're based in shame, and they are unable to move past their pride. So they must drag you down to their level.